talking about the People's National Convention from the People's National Party. Dr. Hila Liman's PNP and now PNC. My guest has been in fact, one of the famous faces of the PNC on the media scene and indeed on the national executive space. I knew him from when he was youth organizer, progressed to be general secretary, went to an election, became chairman. Right now, he wants to be flag bearer. Bernard, I can't mention your middle name.
Ambatayela.
Bernard Ambatayela Mornah. PNC. In fact, I didn't add that you also contested Wa Central and it was unsuccessful. Good evening and welcome to Point Blank.
It's a delight to always be with you. And I can see that you've put on some weight.
Small one.
Because the Umar standard that we used to do all the things with is now an adult.
I'm growing. I'm growing. Very soon I'll retire.
Age is telling on all of us.
But I don't have a grey beard like you. So
no, don't worry about that. When you get to the luminous summits, the grey will come.
So I should pray for that.
No, it's not a bad idea to have grey.
I'm praying to get
In fact,
there.
some people actually go to buy sprays and other things to get grey. And so when it comes naturally, you must accept it.
Some also buy dye to hide the grey.
I know a lot of them.
Don't mention any name. I don't want any trouble on my shoulders. I beg you. Because
I was just going to do the same.
Don't do because I know very prominent people who do that.
I was going to mention them by
Please
their names.
Please don't, I beg you.
No, but they love it when they also dye their grey.
Don't leave it.
So they can look sexy and young.
Mr. Mornah.
Yes, boss.
Please leave it.
I have left it.
Let's talk about you. Before we talk about you, I don't even know where to start from. Your party, what is the problem? We said that we have done multi-party democracy. We want so many parties to be involved. And yet, apart from the NDC and MPP, the rest of you, hope no day. It's like you are small and there's infighting. Recently, your party between Janet Nabila, Bernard Apasera, with all of that now, they've broken away, created a new party. Is it worth being part of these small parties? You tell me. You've been part of this for 2 decades or so.
First and foremost, let me thank you for the opportunity to be here and to also appreciate your many viewers and then listeners across the group, and to insist that I did not come to this earth to just follow the crowd. I came to the earth to chart a path that the crowd may see as the solution to the problems that we face, and the crowd will turn and follow me. And so I have come in various attacks from many people that join one of the so-called established political parties.
The big ones.
Yeah, and then you can make your name.
And your money.
Of course, your name and your money. Mm-hmm. Of course, name, I cannot say that I have not made a name. Mm-hmm. Now, everybody wants you to make money.
So now you need money.
So the point then I establish is that I have had time without number, including you, sometimes off, and sometimes even on your shows, lament about the decay in our political space, particularly under the 4th Republican Constitution. And your lamentations is about what the NDC has failed to do that has led to the economic decline, and what the MPP is doing that has indeed
buried the economy,
so to say. And then you somersault and say that join one of them. So you want us to perpetually have no economy, because what it means is that you are asking me to come and be part of the problem of this nation and not to chart a path to lead to the redemption of this nation. And so it is that edge that, look, if the NDC has failed us and the MPP is leading us totally out of the road, why would anybody insist that go and join them, except the case that you have just mentioned, that join them, loot, make money, steal, be better off, and then be praised by the churches and the mosque because you are able to donate to them, and then you are good to go. Aside that, if we want to do service for our nation, we want to bring about avalanche of job opportunities for our young, We want to create the opportunities for our industry players. We want to ensure that the Ghanaian entrepreneur can match toe-to-toe to the Western entrepreneurs, to the Eastern entrepreneurs. Then you need a new brand. And you cannot follow that crowd and expect that something will change. And that there's a popular saying that if you continue to do something repeatedly, you don't expect different results. And that is how come that the people of Ghana have not obtained any results, apart from the fact that you vote NDC out, you bring MPP in, you vote MPP out, you vote NDC in. And so the manner in which we continue to do this will tell us that the results will not be any different.
Yeah, so if you believe in strong personalities, then consider this scenario. So one person has a Peugeot, the 504. This other person has an Opel Vectra. They are all going to the same destination. You have a bicycle, and I'm referring to you being PNC, having a bicycle, and consistently you've been struggling. These two vehicles keep arriving in time. Why don't you hop off your bicycle and join either the Peugeot or the
Maybe
Vectra?
we have to throw away the bicycle and mount a horse.
Okay, so that you can also get there ultimately and fix what you think is a problem. But for now, you want to fix a problem, but you will not get a mandate because of the vehicle you are using. So my advice to you is that why don't you join the vehicle that is...
mandate.
Are you sure? It doesn't look like it.
Umar, I think that it is the excitement of my becoming the next president of Ghana that prompted you to remember me, to be in the studio.
It is my excitement of being fair and balanced to all media.
For a considerable time, you've not even remembered me. But
because you were drinking pito in your village and climbing horses and chewing dog head.
And it is the same village that I was when you called me.
I know.
So that could not have been an excuse for your not inviting me. Why? I've done several media and continue to do several media. And I've seen you do Zoom interviews and what have you. So
your village doesn't have internet. Sakana,
don't underestimate.
Pronounce the name.
Sankana.
Sankana. There's no internet.
No, we do have.
You sure?
That is how come that you were able to call.
You don't have to climb a tree to receive a call.
In fact, if you go to Kuri, then you need to hang your phone on a tree. But within Sankana, you have.
But you are mostly at Kuri because you go to your farm in that hood.
No.
Are you sure?
No, my farm is in Gudayiri.
Hey, I have to come on a tour of this area. This is which district?
This is in the Gudayiri is in the Wa East district.
Okay.
And I am in the Nadoli Kaleo district. But the farm is in Gudayiri.
Interesting. But let's go back to the strength of political parties. So, okay, you believe that your party is a strong vehicle that you can use to land the Jubilee
For
House.
the fact that we have been resilient, for the fact that despite all the travails that we have been through, the PNC has lived from the 27th of July, 1992 to date. It tells you that there is resilience.
But you've lived and left no mark. Look, you had as many as 4 MPs in the past, or was it 3? CPP had, I think, 3, and you had 4.
Yeah.
You lost every MP.
Would you mind if I make the statement so
Please,
that you appreciate?
Please make it.
Over the years, considerably, we've had MPs in Parliament. Some of them did well. Some were just those who went to add to numbers in Parliament.
They were only 4. I wish you could mention the ones who went to add to numbers.
Ndeburi was in Parliament.
He didn't go to add to numbers.
No, I'm saying Ndeburi. I'm mentioning the numbers.
Okay.
Ndeburi was in Parliament.
Yes.
You had David Pasara was in Parliament. You have Moses Daniban was in Parliament. Alhazan Azon was in Parliament. Honorable Haruna Bayiriga was in Parliament.
I think Bayiriga was minister. Azon was also minister.
No, Bayiriga was not minister, but he was the chairman of the Government Assurance Committee in Parliament.
Good.
Azon was minister. Moses Daniban was deputy minister for health. And of course, David Apasara was an ECOWAS member of Parliament, whatever that means. but that was it. And Ndeburi, of course, was also...
No, ECOWAS member of Parliament is not whatever that is.
I say whatever that means because I don't know what ECOWAS members of Parliament have done.
It is important.
Yeah, it's important. But I said I don't know whatever that means for...
Okay, so you didn't mean it in a derogatory tone.
No.
Okay, that's fine.
But I'm talking about the ECOWAS as an institution itself, let alone its Parliament. I'm not talking about the personality.
You are pro-Niger. You continue. You are pro-Niger and Guinea, but continue.
So
which
of the Nigers are you talking about?
No, the one...
Chiani or Bazoum?
That is all this. You're an international affairs student too. So, what's your point with those MPs of yours?
I'm saying that some of them distinguish themselves in Parliament. You cannot discount the role that Ndeburu played in the shaping of policies, programs in Parliament.
Yesterday, by the way, was his second anniversary since he died.
Well, I didn't remember that.
I saw his son share that.
Yeah. So clearly, you know that Ndeburu was not a pushover in the Parliament. But the others, probably they were too shy, and they also acquiesced to this division of our Parliament into majority and minority, and then their voices were sunk. They could not raise their voices, because if you go to Parliament, really, what it meant is that you join the majority or you join the minority, and consistently.
That's a legal thing. So you don't.
Well,
you
it is the standing orders of
yes.
the House, and
yeah.
I think the standing orders of the House can be changed.
I
think that the new standing orders, if I listen to the Speaker of Parliament, will now create rooms for parties now to have their own sittings in Parliament without necessarily being bulked into the majority and minority side. So clearly, this is because we have pushed this thing repeatedly, and we have said that by being aligned to the NDC or MPP in Parliament, you are drawn. Your voices are not heard. And in fact, Sami and Nkrumah wanted to create her own niche. And it didn't work because the workings of Parliament is either you are within the majority or within the minority.
And the NDC that she was supposed to be with decided to remove her.
You understand?
So you are threatened by that. Okay, let's move forward. So you hold a view that PNC can win an election in this country, and that you are the one who can...
2024 elections.
You believe this?
Why? You doubt it?
Yes, I do.
No, don't doubt.
Because I haven't seen any sign, because the PNC, the Kobe, the coconut pod was broken by a coconut seller with a machete just a few weeks ago around Abavana Junction. Out of it came palm nuts.
I remember that there was Be Bold.
Nana Konedo Ajima Rollins.
Very good. And they broke away.
How many people went?
No, I said they broke away. So you start counting the number of people. They broke away. The NDC won elections.
2012.
Yeah. And I also remember that there was the Afoko, the Samikrap, there was the Kwabena Ajapong that were broken from the MPP.
National executives.
They won elections.
2016.
Right? So why do you think that if a portion of you is broken, you are not capable of mending yourself?
Because the party that had Konedo Ajima Rollins leave it at the time had about 4 million registered voters. MPP in 2016 had about 4
Tell me the number of votes
voters.
that...
PNC,
let me tell you. How many votes did Sonko or Basiru had
in the past? He did not, anything.
And then they somersaulted after just 14 days to an election.
From prison.
They won. Right?
It happened in Kenya, Ruto.
So I'm just establishing. Even if you go outside of Africa, if you go outside of Africa, you can talk about Macron.
Yes.
And many others that just sprang up.
But a good evening is usually seen in the morning. Your morning looks bleak.
But I'm coming. You never had interviewed me. You have not seen the groundswell. You've not seen the mobilization.
But you see, you may be a good driver. I've known you for more than a decade, Bernard.
And you never doubt. You're a great guy. You never doubt my capacity. You never doubt my commitment to any project that I set my eye on.
But I doubt the vehicle you intend to use.
I'm saying that. Why? You wanted me to go independent?
No.
So
I'm just saying
that the NDC and MPP are not an option.
But people
and
vote
I can
for
tell you, my son is qualified to vote this time round.
Okay.
And I know the friends and his cycles that are simply dissatisfied with the things they have seen. And they
are following Cheddar instead of PNC. Do you know that?
Oh, because Cheddar is a declared presidential candidate.
Because Cheddar appeals to them more
I'm
than
saying that Cheddar is a declared presidential candidate. And when I'm declared presidential candidate, then they will begin to match. What have I done? What has John Mahama done? What has Baumia done? What has Cheddar done? And then they will begin to go into the archives and to realize who stood for them when it was tough. And that is the time you get to know that indeed, look, starting a race with speed does not necessarily mean that you end the race with the same vigor.
Okay, there's a view that you should not try to build a party like yours from the top because it will be difficult. Fix it from the bottom. So people advocate that get as many MPs as you can. You in the past ran for the Wa Central constituency. Why have you run away from the Wa Central and now angling for the flag bearership?
What it means is that your history is obsolete.
Okay.
You should have known that I stopped contesting for Wa Central after the 2012 elections.
Yeah,
and
but my
I
point
moved
is
to
that
Nadoli Kaleo constituency just to update your records.
Okay. Forgive me. You went against Popo
so that
and you went against Bagbin. Apologies.
Yes. So
I think I remember the Wa Central more than I remember the Nadoli.
I can update you that you are obsolete in your thoughts.
I apologize.
So that notwithstanding, go and check the tremendous gains I made for the PNC and for myself in any contest that I have been through as an individual. And I have insisted that probably I'm not good enough to be an MP for a constituency, but I'm more than good enough to be the president of the nation.
Talk to me about that. Why does Bernard Mornah want to be president?
There are many reasons, because I see that first and foremost, the greed of our leadership has collapsed our economy and actually bled the future of our nation. I've also seen that because of lack of courage, our leaders have acquiesced to policies and programs from Western and Bretton Woods institutions that tend to undermine our forward growth as a nation. Thirdly, I also see that it appears that sometimes we went to school and we only learn not to come and apply what we have learned within the confines of our environment. So, for instance, we all learned something about gross domestic product, which is to talk about the total or the summation of goods and services produced in an economy, irrespective of who produced them. And then you come and hear our presidents, our vice president, and top government officials, their daily nomenclature has to do with, we have had gross domestic product grow. So GDP has grown. But what they have failed to realize is that a GDP growth that does not translate to economic development is negative growth. And so we have had GDP growth over the period, and this GDP is actually owned outside of us. The Chinese are here, the Lebanese are here, the Americans are here, the Indians are here.
So it's not our growth.
It is not our growth. And
so we don't feel it.
No, you actually don't have it. I mean, you see it, right? You calculate it as part of your growth. Soon after that, it is taken away. So any rational leader will begin to ask, why is it that all the time we see growth and that growth is not reflecting? Then you move away from using gross domestic product as a determinant of the health of your economy to gross national product. And when you do that, then you get to realize that, oh, gross national product is just a paltry representation of what we have. So you begin to fashion out policies that will ensure that indigenous Ghanaians will take control of the commanding heights of the economy. That is where you begin to know that instead of going to take loans and come and pay foreign contractors, you need to pay the Ghanaian contractor so that the Ghanaian contractor will stay the money in the economy, spread the money among the people of Ghana, growth will come. And development will come. Young people will get incomes. And then once that begins to spread, your economy will be better. So, but all the time, you keep talking about growth, and that growth does not translate. What I'm saying, in effect, is that, look, and this is the constant example I've used just for simplicity's sake. Go and take the telecom industry. Glo is not owned by you. MTN is not owned by you. What is it called? Vodafone, Telecel, they are not owned by you. So you calculate the data, the voice, and what have you that we consume daily. Just check how much you consume today on phone calls and voice and data. And then you will just multiply that on average, because you are not the highest consumer of data and voice. But you use yours as an average to determine how many Ghanaians have consumed that and check how much money we have spent. That money is calculated. Soon after it's calculated, the people carry the money through South Africa to Australia, and then the owners of that money, they are playing golf, and we are here in the sun. So therefore, we have to take control of the commanding heights of the economy. You have to begin to do what Gaddafi did to ensure that, look, the extractive sector is not owned away from your own. You take control of the extractive sector so that, hey, if Gaddafi could take away or to bring back 17% oil ownership to 79% ownership for the people of Libya, said that when you are born today, money starts to trickle into your bank account. So when you are born today in Libya, under Gaddafi, you started owning. You were not owing.
You're owning.
I understand. So these are things that I think that our leaders are not courageous to confront, and I want to confront them.
Bernard,
and when I do so, Umar, your life will be better. The future of your children will be guaranteed.
You are speaking like the Nkrumahs that you are, but do you not think that the whole idea of nationalizing that horse perhaps has long bolted, and that it should start thinking on different lines? That
we have denationalized for how long? From 1966. We denationalized. Tell me that horse has stayed within the manage.
It's also gone. Yeah, but
tell me how sensible it is. But you sitting here, tell me how sensible it is for you to come and sell Ghana Airways, that the aviation sector is not profitable, but you have money, or you go and borrow money and be building airports for whose planes to be landed for what benefit? So in few days' time, President Akufo-Addo will be going to Kumasi to commission an international airport. You don't have a plane. So when you commission that international airport, planes will actually come from Togo. Planes will come from Togo. Air Cote d'Ivoire will come. Air Burkina will come. Air Peace will come. They will come and land, and they'll be making profit out of what you have gone to borrow money to come and do. Does that make sense to you?
We charge them for landing and all of those things.
You are a scandal. To think that you construct airports, then people's planes come and land, and you charge them, and you cannot have own planes.
There's a view that owning a plane is not. That's just
Omar,
you're just thinking of more patriotism. You want to see your flag in the air,
let me put it this way. Omar,
anyway.
You own Citi FM, this premises.
Amen.
Then all of a sudden, you have employed a cleaner to clean the area, and the cleaner is not doing well. The place is filthy. So your solution to ensuring that the place is not filthy is that you sell off Citi FM. You are so intelligent indeed.
You are wearing a red beret, characteristic of people like Julius Malema, and recently is it EFF, the one that your comrade from the CPP who has also broken away, Ernesto Yeboah. You people are in the same group. Why didn't you use that vehicle? And I'm still interested in your vehicle. Are you an EFF person or a PNC person?
I'm a PNC person.
But you are doing EFF?
I'm not doing EFF. I mean, Beret did not originate with Julius Malema. In fact, Julius Malema, by age and by political experience and exposure, is my kid brother.
Okay. So, I mean, I know I have an idea where the beret is coming from. I'm just saying that recently he's the one who may have popularized it.
I doubt that. I mean, you can't have the likes of Che Guevara. You can't have America Cabral. You can't talk about Hugo Chavez. And then you come and limit it to my kid brother, Julius Malema. He's a fantastic Africanist, and I admire him.
Why are you wearing it, by the way?
I think that all the people that have worn berets are upright people. They are straightforward people, and they speak to the world the way the world must understand and listen. They speak passionately about the development of their societies.
So they inspire you.
And to the extent that if you come to my office, you will see the collection of my heroes. I don't know why you don't want to come to the office.
I'll come to which of the offices though? Because
my personal office is at Asylum Down.
Okay. When is your election?
We're waiting for the National Executive Committee to meet next week to bring up the roadmap. I have an idea, but I'm not in the position to spill the bean. So I am certain that in a month we'll be going for National Delegates Congress, where you come and see the crowning moment of the next president of Ghana.
Bernard, help me with the middle name again.
Ambatayela.
Maybe you have to.
Ambatayela means who doesn't have problems.
Okay.
And I can see you are full of problems.
Just a few, not that much.
All right.
Bernard Mornah, thank you so much. PNC Flagbearer Hopeful, thank you for joining us on Pamela. It's always great to speak to you.
It's a delight to be by
I'll
your
go
side.
on a horse riding expedition with you in the village one of these days.
You are welcome.
Thank you so much.